Hell is divided into 9 circles. The deeper we descend, the heavier the sins, and the harsher the punishments become. I, Dante, with my master and guide through hell, Virgil, began the descent into the endless abyss. A world stripped of light and hope. Countless souls screamed in despair, each bound to the torment of their own sin. It was the dreadful end of human wickedness. On every path, monsters and demons lurked. With each step I took, fear and despair seized me. This journey broke my mind and threatened to consume my very soul. And now, the long and perilous descent had truly begun. Midway through the journey of our life, I found myself lost in the darkness of the woods. And then, from beyond the forest, came the one whose arrival marked the beginning of my long descent. Who are you? Are you a man, or something else?
I am no longer a man, but once I was. Born in Rome, I sang of heroes and the gods.
Wait, you're Virgil, the guiding light of all poets. Please, save me from this forest and those beasts around us.
If you wish to leave this place, you must take another path. I will lead you through the eternal lands. Follow me.
And so, I followed him, taking my first step not toward the world of the living, but into the realm of the dead. A valley of rocky mountains, shrouded in crimson mist. How long had I walked, following my master? At last, we stood before the gate of hell. Beyond this gate lies hell?
Yes, now we shall behold the tormented multitudes, bereft of God, condemned to suffering.
As we passed through the gate, a realm of wailing and screams unfolded before us, a world drowned in darkness. These endless cries of agony, this vast procession, what are they?
They are the ones who belong nowhere, neither to heaven nor to hell. Cowards who lived only for themselves, denying both God and evil alike.
Naked souls, chasing an empty banner, running without end, their bodies drenched in tears and blood, stung and torn by swarms of wasps and worms, their screams piercing the air. Across the field, beyond the black, unending flow of the Acheron, the ferryman Charon rows his boat toward us.
Accursed shades, dream not of heaven again. I shall carry you to a realm of fire and of ice. You are not among the dead. Why do you walk in their midst? This man is destined by heaven's decree to pass through the depths of hell.
Reluctant, Charon withdrew. Soon after, countless wailing souls threw themselves upon the boat, howling as they were driven aboard.
They go willingly to hell, for they know in their hearts there is no hope left for them.
Suddenly, lightning split the sky, and the ground quaked beneath us. From the mist, a storm of thunder and raging winds arose. In that moment, my body froze in terror, and I fell, swallowed by the darkness. I had already crossed the river. Beyond Acheron, I now stood on a path from which there was no return.
Now, we must go below, into that nameless world, forsaken even by God himself.
Hell is divided into 9 circles. The deeper we descend, the heavier the sins, and the harsher the punishments become. A gray plain, veiled in mist. A dull, lifeless sky. Here lies the first circle of hell, Limbo. It is the land of those who lived with virtue, yet never knew the name of God. Within the fortress fields, Plato, Socrates, and the great sages of mankind gathered in quiet discourse.
These souls committed no sin, but they had no faith. I myself did not know God in life, and so in death I must remain here. Look into their eyes. They were noble and wise, yet heaven's light shall never reach them.
Here, the brightest minds of the earth are gathered, waiting in silence, for a day of salvation that will never come. One step after another, we descended deeper into the darkness. At the very gates of hell, sinners stood in endless lines. Before them loomed Minos, the great judge, his monstrous serpent's tail coiling around each soul, measuring the weight of their sins and casting them to their fated circle.
Stranger, by whose leave have you entered this place?
He walks this path by heaven's decree. Stand aside, Judge. This journey is the will of God. You cannot bar the way.
With a scornful glare, Minos recoiled his tail and at last opened the path before us. As we passed through the gate, a storm unlike any other roared to life. In the endless darkness, countless souls were swept into the air, tossed and hurled, colliding with one another, forever caught in the raging winds. But it was not the wind that drove them. It was their own desires, desires that carried them away, never again allowing their feet to touch the ground. The stench struck my nose, a foul, suffocating rot. In the stagnant mire, the gluttonous writhed. Their bodies decayed, their mouths defiled, devouring mud, filth, and entrails without end. From the darkness, 6 crimson eyes emerged. Cerberus, the hound of hell, prowled the mire with slavering jaws, tearing the wretches apart, rending flesh with tooth and claw. The damned shrieked as they fled. But then, the beast turned its gaze upon me. It barred our path, snarling, fangs dripping with the stench of death. Yet my master stepped forth, unyielding in the face of the beast. By the authority of heaven that guided him, he rebuked the guardian of this circle. Cerberus, cowed and broken, drew back into the shadows. So we pressed onward, descending ever deeper into hell. The deeper we went, the darker hell became. In the fourth circle, faint golden lights flickered in the gloom. As I drew closer, I saw them. Countless souls strained to push vast sacks of coin and heavy stones. The hoarders, who clung to wealth, and the wasters, who squandered it all. Round and round they circled, colliding with one another in endless strife. "Why hoard it all?" they cried. "Why waste it?" came the reply. My master touched my shoulder, guiding me toward the narrow path to the marsh beyond. Through a narrow passage, we came to the black mire of the Styx, a river of mud and blood, boiling with rage. Some screamed, some tore at one another, and those who swallowed their fury in life now sank below the surface, silently drowning in their own wrath. Guided by my master, I boarded a small boat upon the waters. Beyond the crimson mist, a vast iron fortress rose before us. Upon its towers the Furies jeered, winged, serpent-wreathed, mocking our approach.
"This gate shall never open for the likes of you."
Fear gripped me. Are we to end here? But my master answered firmly,
No will can stand against heaven.
Then the sky split open. From the light descended a celestial messenger. The Furies shrieked and fled, and the sealed gates groaned wide. And so, the path to the next circle lay open. We had come to the city of Dis. Here the heretics suffer, those who denied the truth of God. Before me stretched a vast necropolis, a field of burning tombs. From within the molten coffins, the damned writhed in endless flame. Some clawed at their lids, desperate to escape, but unseen hands dragged them back. Master, why are all these tombs left open?
For forsaking faith, these souls are bound to eternal fire, and when the last judgment comes, even these open graves shall be sealed shut, and with them, all hope of release.
At the edge of the cliff leading to the seventh circle, a foul stench rose with the smoke. From the haze emerged a monstrous figure, the Minotaur. It bared its teeth, snarling with savage rage, blocking the path forward. But my master rebuked it with a mighty cry, and the beast fell back into the shadows. Thus the way was opened, and we pressed on into the next torment. Here flows the boiling river of blood. Those who shed the blood of others in life are drowned within it now. Murderers, tyrants, plunderers, warmongers. The very blood they spilled has become their prison. Hunters patrol the banks, their arrows striking any soul that dares rise above the surface. I turned away in horror, and we moved on. The forest of suicides. Those who severed themselves from life can no longer exist as human. They stand rooted as trees, their voices trapped within bark and branch. Above them, the harpies circle and descend. Tearing at limbs with hooked talons, drawing blood from the screaming wood. Their cries echoed as we left the grove behind. The desert burns without end. Here are those who blasphemed against heaven, defied nature, and cursed the order of mankind. From the sky falls an endless rain of fire, while the ground scorches like molten glass.
Raise not your head here. What falls from above is the wrath of God.
Yet even as he burned, one defiant soul raised his fist against the sky. And heaven answered. A thunderous firebolt struck, shattering his body to ash. Leaving the desert of fire behind, we came at last to the cliff's edge.
From here, our feet could carry us no further. To cross this abyss, we would need the back of a beast of hell. Do not be deceived. This creature is the very image of fraud. Lower yourself, Geryon.
At my master's command, the beast lowered itself to the ground.
Hold fast, Dante. Beyond this flight lies the circle of fraud.
And so, upon the monster's back, we plunged into the abyss, down into darkness, where corruption and treachery await. With the monster's aid, we descended into the 8th circle. Malebolgia, the pit of tenfold deceit. In the first trench, the pimps and seducers are driven in endless flight. They who once sold flesh and led others to ruin, now run beneath the lash of demons. The whips crack like fire, scorching their backs and tearing their flesh. And, should they falter for even a moment, the blows fall twice as cruel. Those who once lured with false praise now writhe in pits of filth, choking on the stench of their own deceit. The flattery from their mouths has become the very mire that drowns them forever. Here lie the sellers of sacred office, their bodies thrust headfirst into fiery holes, their feet burning in unending flame. Master, who suffers so fiercely in the fire?
A Papua, Dante.
Those who sought to see the future now walk with heads twisted backward, their eyes fixed forever on the past. Tears stream down their spines, a river of sorrow they cannot turn from.
Do not pity them, Dante. Before the judgment of God, compassion is blasphemy.
A lake of boiling pitch seethes in darkness. Here the corrupt are plunged beneath its surface, their bodies clawed and hooked by demons that circle like vultures. The weight of their greed and power has sunk them forever in this black and burning mire. Clad in robes of gold, but lined with lead within, the hypocrites march in endless circles, their steps heavy as stone. Beneath their feet lies one crucified to the ground, trampled with every passing soul. It is Judas, who sold the Christ, and here no one spares him pity. '" Upon the ashen ground they stand, their skin charred black, their bodies torn with wounds. Serpents coil and slither through the pit, sinking fangs into every soul they touch. Bitten, the sinners collapse into ash, only to rise again. Flames drift through the darkness, gliding like spirits in the air. Within each fire, a soul is bound. Those who once led others astray with cunning lies. Faces twist in agony, appearing for a moment in the blaze, then vanishing back into the fire. Here march the sowers of discord, those who tore apart their people and their faith. One by one they pass before a demon's blade, their bodies split wide, only to be sealed again, so they may be cut anew. The lips that once divided others now condemn themselves to endless division. The trench is choked with poisonous fumes. Here lie the falsifiers, those who forged and deceived, destroying lives with lies. Their lungs draw only venom, their minds consumed by endless madness. Through 10 pits of torment, I beheld horrors beyond imagination. As my strength began to falter, my master held me firm and led me onward toward the final circle of hell. We emerged at the edge of a vast chasm where the final circle of hell lay hidden below. Around the well that led into the abyss, giants stood half-buried, their massive bodies bound in chains of iron. Yet one remained unbound, Antaeus. At my master's call, the Colossus reached forth his hand, lifting us into his palm, and gently lowering us into the darkness of the 9th circle. At last, we descended into the 9th circle. Here lie the souls of traitors and betrayers, their bodies locked in ice, some buried to the waist, others to the very chin, their eyes the only thing left to move. At the center of the frozen abyss, the Lord of Hell revealed himself. Lucifer, colossal, monstrous, his lower half trapped in ice, his wings beating with a fury so cold that every gust deepened the eternal frost. Clinging to his form, we began our ascent back toward the world above. And when my eyes opened once more, the night sky lay before me, starlight shining in silence. We had escaped the depths of hell to gaze again upon the stars.